Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my channel.
Hello, hi, welcome to another episode of Michelle Tries It. You guys missed it? It's been a while. Honestly, it's been a while that I do anything really good on this channel, but we're gonna change that right now. Ugh, my eyeballs are burning. Yikes. Okay, so today I'm gonna walk you through, and then we're gonna do a taste test of Crystal Candies. Have you guys ever heard of them? The Silky Gem, or I don't know any other brands, but they're used a lot for like ASMR, like crunchies whenever people eat them, but they're a candy, like a gummy candy. And I have been dying to try to make them. And then once I started doing research on them, I found out that they were a Japanese candy. I am a Japanese woman. I'm a quarter Japanese, but I am still Japanese, and I still hold on to that quarter like it's my entire identity. So I've been wanting to try to dabble more into making more Japanese foods and cuisines. I never got a chance to do that or learn anything from my grandma. She has now passed, but I do have some cookbooks in the internet. So we're gonna try to do some of that now. But I already made them because they take a really long time to make. So this was recorded forever ago, and I'm just gonna walk you through the process now. Something wet in my hair. Also, I used curlers today, and like, I love them. That changed the volume of my hair. Made me very happy. Okay, anyways. Crystal Candies. I'm gonna look off of this thing, but Crystal Candies, also known in Japan as I have to look off of this. Kohaku-tao. I'll put it up on the screen. Candies, which translates to amber candy, amber sugar, or golden sugar. And that translates into King Yokuto, which is basically, that translates to sugar agar jelly. And the Kohaku-tao candy is like an amber colored candy made from agar. They're basically the same thing, okay? If you look up either one of the words, they will both tell you that they are crystal candies. I don't know why there's so many words for them, I don't know. Agar is a powder. Agar, why is that so hard to say? Agar is a powder that is like a vegan gelatin. I don't honestly remember what it was made from. I think it's made from a plant. Okay, it's made from seaweed. So I knew it was from a plant, so that makes sense. It's a gelatin substitute, a vegan gelatin substitute that's made from seaweed. Anyways, it's a type of traditional Japanese candy, also known as a wagashi. And it's only like 4 ingredients. It's so easy to make. It's agar, sugar, water, and then whatever flavoring you want. And honestly, the flavoring's optional because it's already sugared, so you don't have to add any flavoring in it. But we added flavoring. So let's get started into what I did. That's a little background. I wanted to give a little information about like what agar is and what the crystal candies are. I didn't give a whole lot of information because I don't really know a whole lot of information. It was interesting, right? You guys know a little bit more leaving this video now, right? Maybe not. The ingredients that I used, well, I did use a recipe. I'll put them up. I used 2 different, what's the word I'm looking for? 2 different recipes, I guess, but I used 2 different people's, I read their blogs, 2 different blogs to make this today. An avocado oil or an oil. Avocado oil is good because it doesn't have a lot of flavoring and it's light. You want flavoring of some sort. I use strawberry and blueberry. You can use whatever flavor you want. Food coloring, if necessary. It's not necessarily necessary. My flavoring just so happened to also be colored. I didn't know that when I bought it. So I didn't add any food coloring, but if you want to have color, add food coloring. Add gel or just the droplets from the grocery store. A whisk, sugar, the agar powder, which I got mine off of Amazon, and then a food scale, just so I could get the exact measurements that I wanted. Okay, it's really easy. You do want to like bloom the agar-agar, so you let that sit for about 5 minutes in cold water. So you take 1 3/4 cup cold water and put that in your pot with 14 grams of agar-agar powder. I had a big bag of agar-agar. I do know that they sell them in like little tiny packets. So I guess if you're using the tiny packet, just use half the packet or measure it out. I would measure it. I needed like exact measurements for this because I felt like it was like making bread with yeast is how it felt. So I felt like everything needed to be perfect. 14 grams of agar-agar, and then you let it bloom, I guess, essentially for 5 minutes. And you don't stir it, and then you whisk it afterwards to combine. Okay? Put the pot on medium heat then, after it's done blooming for the 5 minutes, and you whisk it together. Put the pot on medium heat. Then you want to whisk in 3 cups of sugar. I don't know why that was so hard to say. You want to whisk in 3 cups of sugar. You want to do that slowly. So you want to make sure it's fully combined. So this takes a while. After that, you want to add in your flavoring. I just added in like a tiny little because I was afraid of it being too flavorful. But I put in like the exact amount. It was like 1/4 teaspoon, I think, that I put in, and it was the perfect amount. But I also had like a gel flavoring that was like gel flavor / color that I got from Michael's. So I don't know what it would be like with like droplets. So you want to let this boil, but don't overboil, okay? Don't ever stop whisking. This takes a while, probably about 5 full minutes. Well, okay, so you want to bring it to a boil on medium heat, continuously whisking. My first batch that I made was a fail. It turned out wrong because my first ingredients that I followed just says to let it boil. And then when you start to see, no, she doesn't even say boil. She says once it bubbles, remove it from the heat. And I did that. It wasn't specific about how many bubbles there were or if it was supposed to be a boil. So I didn't want it to overboil. So I just took it off like as soon as I saw a few bubbles. Nothing was dissolved. And I figured that out after I poured it out and I noticed like how much residue was left. Okay, so the first crystal candies did not work. Obviously, they did not solidify. I did some, let me push this in. I did some research last night on more about this candy and like how to make it and make it edible. And don't look at my eyebrows, I'm having problems with them today. But I looked up, I thought maybe my recipe was wrong, but turns out all the recipes are basically the exact same. Aside from like maybe some measurements, but they were all the same ingredients. Making this candy is just 5 ingredients. It's always just these 5 ingredients. So it's really easy to make. Well, it should be, but I didn't let the agar-agar fully dissolve in the water. So I found another website, and whenever I was doing my research last night, and they said it needs to be brought to a boil and then boil for like at least 5 minutes. So we're gonna do that and remake this whole thing and then see if we can make these crystal candies. Well, the joke's on me. I don't have enough sugar. I need 3 cups. I have 1 and that much of another cup. So I don't know. But so let's run to the store so I can get some sugar. So once it does boil and you stir it and whisk it for a long time and you do it right the first time or the second time, you then want to take that off the heat and then do a light coating of oil on your baking sheet. I did see people use silicone molds. I would still oil those though too because agar-agar is sticky. This girl is sticky. She's sticking. Oil it up. pour it in the pan. At this point, you can add food coloring if you want to add food coloring, and you can like swirl it in with a toothpick and make it look like all cool. Like I said, mine was already added. Then you want to take this and put it in the refrigerator for 2 hours. And then once you're done with that, you take it out. You want to cut it out of the, I did 2 flavors, by the way. I did blueberry and strawberry, so I did another batch off camera. They both turned out really good. After that, you want to cut the agar-agar mixture, now solidified into a hard mixture.
Warning, warning.
Out of the baking sheet and just start cutting them into shapes that look like crystals to you. I did like flatter crystals because I did a long, like a cookie sheet basically. I next time want to do a more of a shallow dish, so I can do thicker candies next time, or use a silicone mold. I saw a few girls use silicone molds and then pull them out and then let those solidify, and they looked so good and so thick. Mine aren't very thick. Then after that, you want to put them on, I put them back onto an oiled baking dish after I had cut them because they were it's so sticky. I did cut them, and then I would take like the leftovers and I would put those on top and kind of stack them on top of each other so they would kind of look like, I don't know, like little pieces. You want to let them sit out for days, and I'm talking days. And I did an experiment. I did some covered in a covered like Tupperware, and then I did some uncovered. I did them out in my 3 Seasons room, which during the week that I did this, it was below freezing outside, so it was very cold in that room. And I did some inside. So what I came to the conclusion is that do them inside uncovered. They will dry out a lot quicker, and you want to do them at like room temperature, not in the refrigerator, or not in a cold room or in a hot room. I would do them in room temp. So once I brought them in, they started to solidify and got really crunchy and crispy, and honestly, they turned out really good. Here's all of my candies. I have a bunch of the blueberries on top because that's just how they got packaged. But I have some strawberry in here. I mean, they really did turn out so good. It's gonna. Yeah, and they're really delicious actually. They did take 5 ever to make. I mean, honestly, probably like a full week or more for them to like fully solidify. Also, doing them in a covered wagon, or sorry, that's what the first thing that comes to my head. Obviously, doing them in a covered dish was not the vibe, and neither was doing them in a refrigerated room. But once we figured out what worked, they actually turned out really good. Let's get a strawberry one. Okay, here's a good strawberry one. And I'm gonna, I think we should try it. I have better ones that crunch better. But honestly, these are really good. These aren't like new to me. I've been eating them for days. I've been trying to like see the different stages and like what things taste like. They're so, excuse me, they're so different because the agar-agar isn't like normal jelly, it's like softer. So I get the appeal of like wanting to have it sit out and crust on the outside. It's so good, honestly. And like I said, I didn't even add in that color that was like a part of the flavoring. So go to Michael's. They're huge, so you can make 50,000 batches from them, or many different blueberry flavored things. Let's see if this one crunches. Okay, crunchy. It crunches in here. It's like how thin it is. So next time, I try to do something that like stacked, you know. Do you got a little bit more whip? All right, I gotta stop eating these. One more. Honestly, 10 out of 10. They are so easy to make. Time consuming, yes. Skill wise, no skill at all. You just have to have good, you just have to do this for a long time. You just have to do this. And just play that one song. On in the kitchen. You know what I'm talking about. Play that one song, just play it out over and over. But I must say it, 10 out of 10, make these crystal candies. They're so easy to make. And honestly, they're really good. And these would be a good Christmas present. Not Christmas present, Valentine's Day present. You should start making them now though, because they take a little bit of time to make. But if you got like little hearts, that's what I saw a girl make them out of like a heart mold. And I was like, that's a really good idea. It makes a ton of crystal candies. So I will be giving these away to family, I'm sure. But they are delish. Highly, highly, highly recommend trying to make your own crystal candies. Okay, I have a sugar rush. I did read also you don't have to make them with 3 cups of sugar. If you don't want them to be super high in sugar, use 2 cups. But I think 2 cups was maybe like the max or the minimum, I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope this inspired you to try something new. Also, if you see a pimple patch on my chin, no you did not. This whole video, no you didn't. So, Coda's coming in to say goodbye. All right, bye everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.